Which barcodes do you need? How many? UPC, EAN, FNSKU? Where do you buy them from? These are all common questions people new to selling on Amazon have, especially if you're selling one product, hundreds of the same product, more than one product, variations of a product, and multiple products in a bundle. So in this video, I'm going to clear all of this up for you so you can stay compliant and avoid any problems selling on Amazon. All right, first let's talk about what the Amazon barcode requirements are. If you're selling on Amazon, regardless if you're doing FBA, which is fulfillment by Amazon, where Amazon is storing all of your inventory, handling all of the order fulfillment and the shipping and handling for you, or if you're doing FBM, which is where you're storing your own inventory, handling all of the order fulfillment and the shipping and handling yourself, or regardless if you're selling wholesale, arbitrage, or private label products, Amazon requires all of your products to have a barcode on it. If we take a look at the Amazon barcode guidelines page here, you can see that it says, fulfillment by Amazon uses barcodes to identify and track inventory throughout the fulfillment process. Each item that you send to an Amazon fulfillment center requires a barcode. But that doesn't mean that if you're not doing fulfillment by Amazon that you don't need a barcode, and I'll explain this in a minute. Now, in order for your products to meet the Amazon barcode requirement, you need to have one of the following barcodes on your product. You can use a manufacturer barcode such as a UPC, EAN, JAN, or ISBN, or the Amazon barcode, which is also referred to as the FNSKU or FNSKU. There's a third barcode called the transparency barcode, and this is slightly different than the other two, and I'll talk about how this one works in a minute, but the two main types you need to use is either the manufacturer barcode or the Amazon barcode. Okay, so what is a manufacturer barcode? A manufacturer barcode, which can be a UPC, EAN, JAN, or ISBN, is something that I'm sure you've all seen before. It's found on every product and looks something like this. This is what's being scanned at retail stores when you check out to pay for something whenever you're buying a product. This code identifies the item and the price so that the store knows what to charge you and to keep track of their inventory. Each product sold in retail stores around the world must have a unique barcode. Because obviously, if more than one product had the same barcode, how would the store distinguish between the two? Think of the barcode as a product's social security or VIN number that's found on cars. No two people have the same social security number, and no two cars around the world have the same VIN. So if you're selling wholesale or arbitrage products, you're selling other manufacturers' products like Xboxes or Nike shoes, so they're already going to have a UPC barcode printed on the box or package. And these barcodes are standardized globally, meaning a UPC for a product like an Xbox game console. Every Xbox console will have the same barcode on it, and it's recognized worldwide no matter where it's scanned. However, if you're selling private label products, meaning you're selling your own branded products that are being manufactured by you, then your products won't have a UPC barcode, so you'll need to buy them and have them printed on the package, and I'll explain how this works in a minute. Now, similarly, the Amazon barcode, which is also called the FNSKU, which stands for Fulfillment Network Stock Keeping Unit, it's also used to track products. However, it's only used for products that are sold with FBA in Amazon's marketplaces. It looks something like this, and the FNSKU is only recognized internally by Amazon, which means if you try to scan the FNSKU at a retail store like Costco or Walmart, it's not going to work. So why does Amazon's guidelines list these two types of barcodes, and which one should you use? Well, if we take a look back at the guidelines, it says, by default, Amazon will use the manufacturer barcode to track eligible inventory throughout the fulfillment process unless you change the barcode setting. What this means is, if you leave the default setting, your inventory will be tracked using the UPC or EAN barcode. But there's a problem with using this method that most beginners don't realize. Like I mentioned earlier with the Xbox console, every Xbox console will have the same barcode on it. So if you're selling an Xbox and 10 other people are selling the same Xbox, if you send your inventory to Amazon to be sold with FBA, then all of your inventory with all 10 sellers will get mixed together. The problem with this is that you no longer have any control over the quality or the condition of the product being shipped to your buyer. You may have sent in Xboxes that are in perfect mint condition, but another seller could have sent in inventory that's damaged or the package is crushed or dented. And this can be a huge problem if you're doing private label, since how selling on Amazon works is everyone selling the exact same product sells their inventory on the same listing. And if you're selling your own private label products and another seller sends in damaged products to sell on your listing, you'll get bad reviews. Believe me, it happens. So if you're following me, you want your inventory to be separated from any other inventory that gets shipped in. Thankfully, there is a way to do that. In order to keep your inventory separate, even if you're doing wholesale or arbitrage, instead of using the manufacturer barcode, which is the default setting, you can switch to using the Amazon barcode or the FNSKU. You can see here that it says, Amazon barcodes must be applied to all products that are not tracked using the manufacturer barcode. Okay, so that might have been a little confusing, so let me summarize. What I suggest is regardless if you're doing wholesale, arbitrage, or private label, always use the Amazon barcode or FNSKU so that your inventory is kept separate from everyone else's. Okay, so now that you understand what the difference is between the UPC and FNSKU and why you should always use the FNSKU, how do you need to put the barcodes on your products? If we take a look at the packaging requirements, you can see here that it says, any FNSKU you use on a unit must be unique and must correspond to one unique product. For example, each assortment type, such as size or color, must have a different FNSKU. This is like the example I mentioned earlier with the social security number and VIN numbers. Every product needs to have its own unique barcode, and I'll show you exactly how this works in a minute. Each unit must have an exterior scannable barcode or label, which includes a scannable barcode and the corresponding human readable numbers that is easily accessible. This means that the barcode needs to be on the outermost packaging of your product, just like at the store, so someone can quickly and easily find it and scan it. It can't go on the inside or be covered by anything. Remove, cover, or render unscannable any existing scannable barcodes on the outside of shipping boxes. For example, cover existing barcodes with opaque tape or use a black felt tip marker to render the barcode unscannable. This prevents the incorrect barcode from being accidentally scanned during the receiving process. Now, this should be pretty self-explanatory. Only one barcode can be visible on your product. So if you're doing wholesale or arbitrage, you need to cover up the existing UPC barcode if you're going to switch to the FNSKU barcode. The simplest and easiest way is to just cover the original UPC barcode with the new FNSKU barcode label sticker. All right, so now that we've covered what the different types of barcodes are, which barcode to use and where you need to place them, the next question is, where do you get a UPC barcode or FNSKU? Well, first, you can't get the FNSKU barcode without a UPC barcode, and I'll explain that in a second. If you're doing wholesale or arbitrage, like I said earlier, the products you purchase are already going to have the manufacturer's barcode or UPC printed on it, so you don't need to worry about buying a barcode or putting the barcode on the product. To list your inventory for sale on Amazon, you can just type in the UPC barcode that's on the product to pull up the original product listing and add your inventory and set your price. However, if you're doing private label like I do, then you're selling your own branded products, so you're the manufacturer. And unlike wholesale or arbitrage where you're selling the same product as someone else, so you're selling your inventory on an existing Amazon listing, in order to sell your product on Amazon, you need to create your own product listing. And in order to create your own product listing, you need to buy a UPC barcode for your product because your product isn't going to have a UPC barcode from your manufacturer. Now, if you want to learn how to add your product to sell on Amazon, I'll leave a link to a video down in the description below. Okay, so if you're doing private label and you need to buy a UPC barcode, where do you buy it from? Now, pay close attention here because if you don't follow this guideline, you're putting your account at risk. If we take a look at the barcode policy on Amazon, we can see that it says here, we verify the authenticity of product UPCs by checking the GS1 database. UPCs that do not match the information provided by GS1 will be considered invalid. We recommend obtaining your UPCs directly from GS1 and not from other third-party selling UPC licenses to ensure the appropriate information is reflected in the GS1 database. And you can also see here that it says, if you do not buy directly from GS1, all invalid product UPC listings will be removed and may result in your ASIN creation and selling privileges being temporarily or permanently removed. So, although it may be tempting, do not buy your UPC barcodes from third-party websites. Only buy directly from GS1. It's not worth the risk, especially since GS1 now offers individual barcodes for only $30. And for the same reason, I don't suggest trying to save money by getting a GTIN exemption. It's not worth the hassle, especially since a GTIN exemption needs to be continually renewed every 6 months. Just buy a GS1 barcode for $30 and save yourself the hassle. Okay, I know what some of you are thinking. $30 is still pretty expensive for just one barcode. How many barcodes do you need to buy? And this is where a lot of beginners get confused, so I'm going to try to make this as easy as possible to understand. When you're buying barcodes, there are 4 possible scenarios. The first is if you're selling a single item. For example, let's say you're selling this blue smash the like button pillow. The single blue pillow is considered 1 unit, and every unit that you sell that's 100% identical to this blue pillow will use the same barcode. And when I say identical, I literally mean they are exactly the same product. If you had a bunch of them, you wouldn't be able to tell them apart. So in this scenario, it doesn't matter if you have 1 unit for sale or 10,000 units, they all use the same UPC barcode. Therefore, you only need to buy 1 UPC barcode. Does that make sense? Every product that is exactly the same will use the same barcode. Now, in the second scenario, let's say you want to sell variations of the same product. So let's say you want to sell the blue like pillow and a red like pillow. Since these are 2 different pillows and you plan to sell them separately, each pillow will need a different UPC barcode. Therefore, you'll need to buy 2 UPC barcodes, one for the blue pillow and another one for the red pillow. All the blue pillows will use one barcode and all the red pillows will use the other barcode. This is also true if you're only selling the blue like pillow but in different sizes. Each size is a completely different product even though they have the same design. So if you have a small pillow and a large version of the pillow, these are 2 different variations, so you need 2 barcodes. Now, the third scenario is if you're selling different products. This is the same process as variations. So for example, if you're selling the like pillow and you also want to sell a subscribe pillow, and you also want to sell a follow pillow, these are 3 different products, so you'll need 3 UPC barcodes. With me so far? Now, in the fourth scenario, and this is the most confusing for new sellers, what if you want to sell a package or a bundle of products? For example, let's say you want to sell a pack of 3 like pillows. Well, the entire pack or bundle is considered 1 unit. Someone that buys the pack or bundle, they're getting all 3 pillows, so it's considered 1 unit. It doesn't matter how many items are included inside the pack or bundle, it's still considered 1 unit. So you only need to buy 1 barcode. If you want to sell a pack of 3 blue pillows and also sell a pack of all 3 pillows, then you'll need to buy 2 UPC barcodes. One for the 3 pack of like pillows and one for the 3 pack of different pillows. Make sense? So to bring this all together, let me show you one more example. Let's say you want to sell this smash the like button shirt and this subscribe shirt separately. You have 3 different sizes of each shirt, small, medium, and large. You have a total of 60 shirts to sell, 30 for each shirt and 10 of each size. How many barcodes do you need to buy? If you said 6 barcodes, then you're right. Now, I also created this barcode flowchart to help you figure out how many barcodes you need, depending on how you're selling on Amazon and what you're selling. You can download this flowchart for free on my website, and I'll leave a link to it in the description below. Okay, so once you've purchased your UPC barcodes, you need them in order to create a product listing. You'll need to assign a barcode to the new listing like you can see here. And once you've assigned it, that UPC barcode can never be reused again on a different product. And one thing to note, in some cases when you enter your new UPC barcode here, you might run into an error where it doesn't accept the barcode. In this situation, if you just purchased the UPC barcode from the GS1 website, you may need to wait 24 to 72 hours for the GS1 database to update before you can use the new barcode to create your new product listing. Okay, so now that you know how many barcodes you need to buy, where do you download the barcode to put it on your product? Again, if you're doing wholesale or arbitrage, your product will already have the UPC barcode on it. However, if you're doing private label and you purchased your UPC barcodes from GS1, you'll get a PDF of the barcode that looks like this. You'll need to have this printed on the product packaging or printed onto a sticker label to put on your products. Now, if you want to use the FNSKU barcode like I suggest, you don't buy the FNSKU. The FNSKU is automatically assigned to each product once you've added it to the Amazon Marketplace. Now, in order for you to use the FNSKU instead of the default UPC barcode, you'll need to change the barcode setting in Seller Central to use the Amazon barcode. Log into Seller Central, click on Settings, Fulfillment by Amazon, scroll down to FBA Product Barcode Preference, click Edit, and change it from Manufacturer Barcode to Amazon Barcode. Now, if you navigate to the Inventory Management page in Seller Central And next to your listing, if you click on the drop-down menu here, you can choose Print Item Labels to download the FNSKU label. You can save it as a PDF and email this to your package designer or manufacturer to have them put it on your product. And just like the UPC barcode, no two products will ever use the same FNSKU. The blue like pillow will have its own FNSKU and the subscribe pillow will have a different FNSKU. And the FNSKU will never change for the lifetime of you selling the product on Amazon. Okay, and one thing I want to point out, you can see here that it says Amazon barcodes, such as FNSKU labels that start with an X. Take note because when you switch to using the Amazon barcode, if you download the FNSKU label and you notice that the barcode number starts with a B0, like you can see here, that's your product's ASIN, not the FNSKU. The FNSKU would look like this. Notice it starts with an X. If you encounter this, then you can change it from the ASIN to an FNSKU by following the steps on this page here. Basically, you can delete the listing you've already created and create a new one, but make sure to use the same UPC barcode that you did before. Or you can add a new condition by following the steps here. And once you've done that, when you download the Amazon barcode, it should now start with an X instead, and I'll leave a link to this page down in the description below. All right, now remember, if your product already has a barcode on it, you'll need to cover it up so that only one barcode is visible. So if you're going to use the FNSKU, just cover up the UPC with the FNSKU sticker. And a pro tip, if you plan to sell your product at brick and mortar stores like Walmart or Target, where they're going to require your products to have the UPC barcode on them, and you also plan to sell it on Amazon, instead of having to create two different package designs, one with the UPC barcode and another with the Amazon barcode, you can save some money by designing your product packaging with the UPC on it so that the UPC is already printed on the original product. This way, for the units that you're shipping to Amazon to sell on Amazon, you can simply cover up that UPC barcode with the FNSKU label. Make sense? Now, also take note that requiring a barcode on your products is only necessary if you're doing FBA, meaning you're shipping your inventory to Amazon's warehouse. If you're doing FBM, meaning you're shipping your products directly to your customers yourself, then your products don't need to have any barcodes printed on them since Amazon isn't tracking your inventory and they're never going to see or handle your inventory. But you still need to buy a UPC barcode to create your Amazon listing though. Now, getting the proper barcodes and putting them on your product is just one small part of Amazon's extensive packaging and labeling requirements. Your products need to also have other labels on them and meet specific packaging requirements. So to make sure you're doing that correctly, this video right over here will show you how to properly package and label your products for FBA.